Hey guys, so we're trying something a little different today. I got myself a little microphone and we are going to try capturing some audio live instead of me doing the voiceovers and whatnot on the videos. So we're in the middle of a couple projects in the workshop, but first we need to change out some air filters. So the reason for the change in video style, I'm doing some cabinet builds and those videos don't do very well. And so I figured I'd try something a little different and do some like week updates in the shop or something. Like, don't let your filter get that bad. That's what it's supposed to look like. That was way too long for that filter. Locked in. So to get you caught up, the first project we got going on is one of these free little libraries. It's all primed and ready to go. Door is primed and ready to go. Just waiting on a paint color choice from my wife. But I got this to go on for the roof. It's going to make kind of this shape is like the paper of a book, and then there's going to be a flat bind with the two sides coming up to make it look like a hardbound book coming around it. And then the other project we got going on is we got a Murphy bed getting built. So I've already started cutting up some. I got to finish creating it. But I got this kit from Rockler. It's Create a Bed Kit. This is actually my second Murphy bed I built from them. They've got two different versions. Maybe I'll talk about that later, but this one I think is the much better one. So we got to keep working on that. So for this roof, I got this board. It's called color board. It's supposed to be what they call it. It's a colorful, environmentally stabilized polymer sheet. It supposedly works like wood. It's supposed to be able to run it through the table saw and like hand plane it. Some of the reviews I saw online were you can't really like sand it because that dulls it, but it's got a nice texture to it. And so it's just like the corners need to be sanded. So I need to first kind of get this ripped down to size. The top board here is how wide? So the top of this here is currently like 14.5 inches. So we want about a half inch on each side. So I need to cut this down to 15.5 inches wide. Then let's see exactly how this is working with. All right, that did cut super smooth. No big problems there. Let's see. I plane. Oh, super smooth. That's me perfect. Put a little chamfer on it and it's gonna be very nice. All right, so let's cut out the sizes we need and go from there. All right, I know I'm dumping y'all in mid-project here, but this entire thing is getting put together with not wood glue, but with this construction adhesive since it's going to be outside. That's why also I'm putting a plastic roof on this thing. I want to give it the book look, but I also want to just make sure this sucker's ready for the rain whenever we get rain in Central Texas. And yes, I broke the tip off this thing, so it just kind of goes everywhere. Get this even side to side. There we go. And I got some decent construction adhesive, so it really grabs it well. And I'll hold on to it. Nice. Now I'm going ahead and gluing this on. We'll come back through. That plane's so easy with the hand plane. We'll plane this down flat and we'll plane the edges once it's all dried in place. I lost a lot of sleep trying to figure out how I want to do this, and that went much easier than I thought it would. And of course I run out right now. So I will get some more tonight because I got to get this on, both these on, get them dried. Then I'll plane this down flat and then I'll put the cap on another day. So I guess we got to move on to something else. All right, so this Murphy bed kit I'm building, it's a really nice kit. Again, so I got a Rockler. It comes with all the hardware you need for it. And then it's got these instructions on how to build it. You know, I think I make pretty good project plans on my website. These are kind of a next level. But I guess that's what's needed when you've been selling this kit for 20 years. So it gave me the breakdowns on the panels, and I've got quite a bit done. I've gotten these 4 done. I've gotten these 2 done. It's 2 sheets. I got these cut lengthwise. Trimming this edge is going to be a challenge, but what I haven't done is these yet. So I've got these kind of pre-cut out. Let me get those. We can get the width cut, and then we can work on cutting down the length. So I haven't been getting good cuts on my chop saw. The fence is deflected some. So to square up these edges, what I've started doing is using my crosscut sled, which is great. And then this little block at the end that I have, right? I don't put it super tight against the board. I put it just above it so that this, even though this sucker's hanging out 6 feet, right? That right there keeps it flat on the board. My other hand goes on here so that as it cuts and goes across, it keeps this from toppling over. All right, so the last thing to do is we gotta mark all these boards so we don't forget what's what. This build has like 30 something pieces to it, all just a little bit different sizes. All right, then we can add that to the stack. All right, so new day, new bottle of adhesive. One thing I was thinking about last night is I still don't know exactly what I'm going to call this video, this segment. My intent is to do weekly updates. I can probably get 3 a month based on how much time I spend out here in the garage. So I don't know. Leave something in the comments if you got an idea about what to call this thing. I might just go like just SB Weekly, do something generic like shop. I don't know, shop time or who knows. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Try and get this centered. There we go. That looks perfect. All right, now we'll let that dry another day, and then we will take care of the corners and put the top on. All right, so jumping back to the Murphy bed. The Murphy bed inner frame where the mattress actually sits needs some braces. Braces are supposed to be 3/4 of an inch by 1.5 inches. And I need like 12 of them, kind of various sizes to make it up. And I went to the store and priced it out today. And the buying the premium pine boards already that size, I could get 4 of them for the price of 5 2x4 studs. And out of 5 2x4 studs, I should be able to get about 20. So more than I need. I know some of these studs, they've got knots in them. And so I won't be able to use all of the cuts, but it'll be better than paying all that for a bunch of stuff I can't use. Uh-oh. And it'd be helpful if I raised that up. So I'm going to switch out that blade we cut the plastic with for this just basic construction blade, and we will go to town on it. So majority of the pieces I need are only at 60.5 inches. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut these down over here. Again, trying to save as much of the good scrap as possible. So this will give me a nice big chunk of scrap I can use for something else. I know I said yesterday I wasn't getting good cuts here. Not, it's not sitting at a perfect 90. But these boards, we're about to take this and then we're going to rip this into 3/4 inch strips. And those 3/4 inch strips aren't going to have a huge face on them. These are also inside pieces, so you aren't going to be able to see if it's not perfectly flush. So this should be good enough to go get it started. We will see after we cut some if that ends up true or not. Okay, so now the last step, we're going to cut all this down into 3/4 inch strips. And that will give us our final dimensions for all our support pieces. All right, the last thing for tonight is we're going to take these braces that we just made and we're going to glue and nail them together into little L pieces, make them stronger per the plans. All right. Now we'll kind of manhandle it flush. One done. Well, new day, new problem. The glue I used yesterday apparently wasn't the same as I used for everything else. As you can see, there's almost nothing bonded to this panel at all. It hardened to the wood, but this was on here and I went to lift it right here and just started to creak a little bit. Like if I hadn't have touched it, probably would have been fine, but it would have come off eventually in a storm or something. So I'm gonna sand this down. Went and bought the right glue. Turns out there's a big difference between heavy duty and ultimate. Ultimate is the one for the plastic, and get it reattached. All right, well, since we can't finish that tonight, we need to try edge banding. I've not done this before. I got 250 feet of this walnut edge band, same place I got the plywood. I spent my day watching YouTube videos on how to do it. It does have the glue already on it, the heat wrap something or another. We're gonna try this out. I'm borrowing my aunt's iron. Can't remember the last time I held an iron, but okay. And the internet said just line it up and apply even pressure until it's too hot for you to touch. So we can do that. Oh, look at that. That actually like instant grabs. It's still sticky. It's not like instant connection like that contact or that construction adhesive, but it's supposed to be fast drying glue. They're saying you only have to let it sit for a minute or two and then it'll be set. Okay, so now it said kind of go over the edge a little bit. Make sure that corner gets hit. Now I'm supposed to like roll it at this point. I don't have a roller, so I'm just gonna tamp this down real hard. Okay, it's already sticky to it. I'll let that just sit for a minute or two and then we'll try edging off the sides. Okay, so I got some options here. I'm gonna try just taking off the side here, knife. Nice and simple. Okay, so now these edges. One of the things I saw a video of was if I take a rasp and come this way with it, will it come off? So yes, it comes off, but it scratches the heck out of the plywood. Good to know. So if I like hold that at a small degree there, just barely off of it, so it doesn't actually touch the plywood, you know, that does okay. Now let me hit that with some sandpaper and see how that looks. Okay, so that was some 180 grit sandpaper. That actually looks super clean. So not the deep file. I used the gentler side. Held it kind of off, kind of like this, maybe 10-15 degrees. Didn't get it all the way flat, got it really close though, and then that just 180 grit sandpaper took it down pretty perfect. All right, let me try that again on this side. So towards me, slight degree. Now this side has more hanging over. Okay, so it's not rasping that off. So I got too much. It's just bending it. They make knives that do this. I think I may order one of those as well, because this isn't going to be productive on. I think I got like 80 linear feet of this to do across this whole thing. Something like 80 linear feet. So that's not going to work. Okay. But this side looks very nice. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a little finish just to see, make sure like a glue line doesn't pop out or anything. Let me go grab some of that. Okay, let's just grab some of this. Yeah, all right, I think that is a winner. It doesn't pop through like any glue line or anything like that. And so that is on the small side using that rasp and then just sanding it over. That looks really good. New day, some new tools showed up. I grabbed myself some rollers. Don't need them now, but I'll use them for the big ones. And then I grabbed one of these Edgebanding razors. It's come in kind of two styles. This side was recommended for beginners because the other one is something that like clamps and does both sides. Can apparently be hard to get used to. It says this one's as simple as you just line it up and you go. I mean, it's cutting. Okay, I can see a glue edge there on that. I sand that down. Okay, and that sanding does pretty much take that away. I'm not gonna put any finish on that side, but I think that will work just fine. Okay, then back to the regular glue. Should have used the first time. This is solid, not going anywhere. So I want to go ahead and we need to go ahead and clean up the edges of these. We got to get this top down flat. What I didn't pay attention to is I've got a little saw mark right here. I don't think that's from me. I think that's from the how the board came. Probably should have done this before I glued it on, but let's take it nice and light. Okay, good. Perfect. One more, that'll be gone. Look at that. Perfect edge. Okay. 1, 2. There we go. Okay, so now for the top. We gotta make it so this thing sits flat on there. And I'm thinking I may need to move to something a little heavier. Okay. Look at there, we got ourselves a flat roof. So I got the size dialed in, I got the size chamfered. So right, we're going just right like that. I want to be pretty well even. What I'm noticing is I'm a little far forward on this side compared to this side though. I think I'm actually going to plane down this face a little bit to get that even. There we go. Okay, so now that we're all fitted and we got the right glue, the goal here is we're trying to get this top to be as seamless with the side as possible. And so I'm actually going to put most of the wood glue here on, not wood glue, the cement, even cement construction adhesive on the inside here, because we'll caulk all the overhangs and everything once we're ready to paint. I'll make sure these ends get plenty of adhesive. I want to get a little on the plastic here, not enough that it's going to squeeze out. At least that's the goal. There we go. Couple of weights to hold it down. All right, guys, that pretty much does it for this update. We got the roof on to the library. We got most of our support boards now cut up for the Murphy bed, and I have blue plastic shavings all over the shop. Still haven't decided exactly what I'm going to call this, but you'll see when I post it. So be sure and comment below. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you don't like. Am I rambling too much? Am I not doing enough? Video too long, too short, something like that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know, and be sure and like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks.